आ जाओ देश के लोग, आपको बचना इसके बाद, ऐसे लोगों का क्या इलाज करना है।
So I think we've started the recording. We can start now. So good afternoon and welcome to all of you for this bi-monthly webinar. So I'm Yogesh Agiwal from Crossover Leadership Journeys, and as some of you who have been attending our webinars regularly, we run this every 2 months. It's a bi-monthly webinar. Sometimes we do programs that we run ourselves, so at Crossover. So I'll give you a brief from our website what we do. And we also invite sometimes an expert in a various fields. So we had invited at some point Ramesh Dorairaj, who was the head of sales at L&T Mindtree. We had invited somebody who was a design expert. So like that, we keep inviting. Last week, we had invited Pratap, who is an expert on AI for HR. Now, AI has been like widely used now. I think all of us in some form use it. So we didn't wanted to keep this very generic. So we actually had a series of three. So one was for the L&D people, which is ourselves that we use. So we shared how we can use L&D, AI in L&D. Then last week we had AI for HR, which means the HR function using AI. And today we thought we will have specifically for sales and marketing. So what you will see from Zubin's session today is that while you may find some of these things you already may be doing it, but with the session we hope that you will be able to expedite your application of AI. You will be get new ideas on how you can do that. And while we just have about an hour and a half, so 5:30 is generally the time. From 4 to 5:30 is the usual time. So we will let Zubin run for an hour or so, and then we will open up for questions. So by 5:30 we'll close, and this recording is also getting done. So we will share the recording with you also. And Zubin has been running a longer workshop for a lot of clients. He was in South for 2 days in Ramraj. Before that, he has done for UTI a lot of clients. So we took his time to get you guys introduced. So if you find this session useful and if you want to go much more longer, and when I say longer is that he would actually go into your context and see people to use that live in the workshop. So it is not like a gyan session. You essentially get to really use it from the day you attend the workshop. So I'll take about 5 to 7 minutes to walk you through what we do at Crossover. And a brief introduction about myself. So I used to work at Wipro for a very long time. So I was heading the Oracle practice at Wipro for about 15 years. And then within Wipro, I moved into the leadership department because I had got our Azim Premji's award 2 times. So our chairman said that, can you make more managers like you? And I said, how do I do that? He said, move into leadership department. And that is where I formally moved in 2009. I had at that time no idea about L&D, but I feel now that coming from a business background was quite helpful because you might have best of best framework, but unless you bring in the business context is of no use. And when I moved, I realized that no transformation can happen overnight. I mean, we see at our home also, right? If you ask anybody to change anything, it just doesn't happen, including ourselves. So how can a big framework happen in a day or two? So I'll just mute all of you for now, but you can unmute later. So that was the idea. That I said well at Wipro that we should not do one-off program, which means that we would do longer journey. So we would actually take a set of people and work with them for a period of sometimes 4 months, 6 months. The longest I've done is for 18 months, which means you are actually transforming the people inside out. 18 months where we meet them every month. We look at what are some of the area that they will go and apply. They come back and talk to us. So this we tried, it didn't work. And then we kind of have conversation. And I did that for about 7 years. And for last 10 years, I we are focusing on the same model actually. And I'll quickly take a minute to just give you a glimpse of the work that we do, and then we will hand it over to Zubin. Yeah. So and I let Zubin only introduce because he has a very illustrious career. So I'll just quickly take about 5-10 minutes. So when you come to our website, you will start seeing that we talk about longer journeys. When you go to this section, you will see how we work. So you will see that we work with organization always in a longer format. So there is a lot of descriptor on the site which you can take a look. So you can, it's like a nice story that you can read to get an idea. But broadly, there are four things that we do with our clients. So essentially, we go inside the organization to understand, meaning each organization has its own journey, its own dreams, its own ways of working. So, when we meet the participant, they should not feel that somebody outsider is coming. They should feel that we are part of their ecosystem. So we understand that first step. The second step is, while we have got super content over the years, and now with AI, content is not a problem. You can create much faster, much easier. But we design the content, which means that while we might use AI now, but it is like contextual to that customer's environment. So these are usually journey where we have sessions every month, and then after that we have a mentoring team who works with the participant to apply that in real life. So third step is sustaining beyond the session. And I always tell my clients that doing a 1 day workshop, 2 day workshop without any support, you will find that people tend to forget quite many things. But if you do some support, it will remember. And the last is measure and showcase, because every customer want to see what is the return on the investment. So we clearly have mechanisms to show that. So you can take a look at this. You can also look at our practitioners, our own team. These are all industry experienced people that you can see. And when you come to this place, you will see three things here. One is on the left hand side, you will see programs that are related to each seniority. So you can start with the first time manager, you can go to next level emerging leaders, then you can go to mid level leaders, and then you can go to the senior leaders program. Now, each of these programs, when you click here, like for example, if you click at the mid level, you will see complete detail on the site itself. That who this program is for. So you know what kind of audience, what kind of focus areas. Like so we have four focus areas: self, team, operational, organizational. So you will see that happening here. And what is the problem it is solving? And this is like the 6 months journey that we kind of recommend, that where there is some part on the self, like in Hindi we say that दुनिया को जीतना है तो पहले खुद को जीतो. So first is like winning yourself, and then you look at how do you handle your team, and then how do you handle your customers, and how do you really handle your organization. So you are essentially having these elements there. And so you can take a look when you get a chance. And now I think for about few months now, we have also introduced industry-wise solution. So for example, if you go to say retail industry as an example, so you will see that in retail industry, there are broadly four functions. So you've got sales, you've got store operations, you've got supply chain, you've got customer experience. Now, each of these levels, if you go down, you will see the set of programs for that level. So, for example, for the first store associate or sales executive, we have got program. Then you've got store supervisor. Then you've got store managers. Then you've got like the people who are managing multiple stores. So you can have each of these levels go into hierarchy as you go along. You can look at store operations. So again, there are four levels. If you look at supply chain, there are four levels. But what we realize that a lot of clients, we're finding it very difficult to have, domain and leadership together. And we thought that this would be a great value for our clients, where they can come together, to come here. And similarly, if you go to the customer's experience, you can see that supply chain. So like that, every industry you will see, you will find the same, levels that you will see. Very, very holistic, very deep that you. The last is executive coaching. We typically look at top executives of the organization on many areas of coaching, and we have got around 16 ICF, PCC, MCC level coaches. So you can see why coaching. So it could be a role transition, somebody taking on a new role. It could be, I think, you have reached a certain level and there is a plateau on the performance, or there could be a feedback from a stakeholder. It could be a customer, it could be internal management team, or it could be even a high potential acceleration. So you see that these are the people who can be high performing for future. And or it could be a board sponsorship saying that we need this executive to be coached. So we have a very, very nice detailed approach. You can take a look at the detailing here, so you can see your structured approach, line by line. So you'll get all the details of how the whole model works within in coaching also. So I'll take a pause here and then I will just hand it over. So you can take a look at this site whenever you get a chance. And if you like something you want to talk about, you can just go down and put yourself, like start a conversation. You can put your comment here and somebody will call you to discuss about whatever we can help you with. Yeah. So I'll unshare my screen now and I will let Zubin take over the stage now. So Zubin, a very warm welcome to you, and I know we have been talking to you for quite many months now, and I'm glad that today is a day where, and we have got a good turnout today. 49 people is a good number to have.
Yeah, that's a
And
really good
yeah,
number.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. And
Very
so
impressive. AI is
yeah,
doing the job.
I know, I can imagine. Yeah. So I'm very happy that we have so many people coming today. So team, I mean, I'll hand over the stage to Zubin. I'll be here whenever you have anything that you want to ask. You can just click on the raise hand button. So if you click on I think on the React, I think where is it? I think in React you can see there is a raise hand button. You can click so that we will know that you have a question, or if you want to unmute and ask also is okay. So Zubin, if you want to, and maybe I would request all of you to turn your camera, as I was telling to Vivek earlier. And Vivek, thank you for, I think you reached your place, so you're on camera now. So all of you should turn on your camera and keep it on, meaning a lot of time people just turn it on and then again they turn it off. So this is not a compliance activity. You should keep it on, because I can guarantee you that if it is on, you will attend the session. If it is off, then you will be tempted to look at WhatsApp, you look at something. And also in some form, we can look at your expression and see, whether you are really finding this session helpful, not helpful, and accordingly Zubin can tweak it or whatever. So keep it on all through the session till 5:30. We will for sure close at 5:30. So Zubin, first, if you want to introduce yourself, your illustrious career, and then you can start with
Uh,
your session. Yeah.
yeah. So thank you, Yogesh. It's been a pleasure uh, out here, and we've crossed half a century. So we've got 50 people now, 50
Yes.
participants. So that's really encouraging to see.
Yeah.
Um, I'm happy to be here, and what we're going to do is we're going to do something very exciting today. Um, I know it's 4:30 and a lot of us are waiting, to go home. And this is that point where you start completing everything fast. But imagine if, there was AI in your life, you could have, finished this at 2 o'clock and not at 5 o'clock. So that's precisely what we are going to do. Although 1 hour is, in this 1 hour is not sufficient to give you know everything about what AI can do in marketing, in sales, or in HR. But uh, we worked out a program where you'll be able to, look at and see where AI is, where are your skills, where the skills are moving at this point in time, and how AI is actually being mapped to your role and what is happening on that front. Uh, then we will do, an exercise with one of my favorite tools, which is called Google NotebookLM. It's a brilliant tool, and everybody can use it irrespective of what function you are in. It'll only enhance a lot of your learning capability and the approach in terms of how you take it to whatever level. So we'll take up a case study. We'll take up a BFSI case study of Bajaj Finance, because I've taken that case study, and I generally do this case study in my workshop because Bajaj Finance has been on the cutting edge of AI in terms of whatever they do at this point in time. A lot of their workflows, a lot of their transformation has all been in AI. Uh, a lot of their voice calling has been in AI. So they've transformed their entire call center, with a voice agent. And through that voice agent, the calling that is done, they've actually figured out what the customer wants and have had new offerings for those customers. So they have an entire AI engine running at the back end. So that will be a good case study that's there, and we will see a lot more about it once we move on. So let me share my presentation with this. If everybody can just put into chat as to what is their function, briefly about their function and experience, it will help me understand, this cohort, which is of about 50 people. So quickly, while I pull up, the deck, if you can quickly put on saying, which role and how many years, that will help.
So Vaishali is from digital marketing.
Okay,
Is
nice.
what
No,
she
no,
is saying.
I'm aware. I'm able to see this, Yogesh. So I will see
Okay.
the chat,
Yeah, yeah.
at least for
Perfect,
the roles.
perfect, perfect,
Yeah.
perfect.
So,
Lovely.
oh wow, all digital people, digital and sales. Okay, nice.
Ayush Aman is from Agarwal Eye Hospital. We can contact for our cataract later, Ayush.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very important. I also need eye testing.
I know, I know, I know.
Happy to
So
help.
you're the man.
Yeah.
I know,
So
I know.
you're
No, just kidding.
you're,
So
you're
listen,
the man.
yeah,
And I love the way your branding and all is. A
Yeah.
lot of these videos that you recently did.
thank you.
Yeah.
Um, very nice.
Yes, yes.
Okay, nice. So we have a mixed set. Uh, is
FMCG.
anybody able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let me begin. Uh, so this session is for business leaders like you who are in the job function. It doesn't matter the number of years, because everybody now, with the help of AI, is similarly, at a similar level. Either you're learning, you're adapting. Very few people are actually working with AI in these organizations. And our goal here is to give you a glimpse of what's happening across with a lot of skills, where these skills are moving, and how can you actually adopt AI not only for content generation but also for decision making. So once again, thank you, Yogesh, and the
Yes.
Cross team for having me here.
Yes.
So my name is Zubin. I've been a marketing professional for almost about 20 plus years. I've led large digital transformation teams at BFSI companies. A large part of my career has been across BFSI, which is largely in ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank. Also moved within the bank to handle digital for insurance. So ICICI Lombard, I spent a lot of time at ICICI Lombard. All throughout my career, I've been a digital marketing professional, and I've handled transformational teams largely on the digital front. My last stint was with Club Mahindra, where I was heading their P&L again for the digital channel. So my role was to increase, being a P&L head, my role was to increase the numbers from the digital channel in terms of acquisition, performance, in terms of everything, from discovery to ensuring that uh, the sales move up and digital becomes like a additional channel for Mahindra Holidays. A few months back, I moved out to start my own consultancy. This is called AI Fluency Labs, where I do workshops, I do corporate workshops, and I help business leaders and founders to understand AI and to move up the AI curve in terms of the expertise. So, the expertise that the business leaders have, I help them to leverage AI so that they are very productive, and they can do a lot more work within less time. So that's what I do, and we've helped a lot of corporates, a lot of founders in this last 3-4 months. I'll briefly take you through that. I have close to about 30,000 followers on LinkedIn. So if you go on to LinkedIn and follow me, I post everything about AI, what's happening in the Indian domain, what's happening internationally. Largely, I focus on AI-based outcomes for and AI-based learning for business professionals. So that's a bit about me. Uh, what I've done now is that I've taken out, or I've culled out uh, this this skills uh, source. Okay, it's by the World Economic Forum. Now, what they've done is that they've mapped skills based on these 4 grids. So they've mapped skills that are out of focus. They've mapped skills that are Let me just take a highlighter. So they've mapped skills that are out of focus. Oh, exactly. So they've mapped skills that are out of focus over here. So they've taken this grid line and they've done a lot of, I think more than they've conducted a lot of research and studies with working professionals. And this is a global report. This is not based on India or for any country. But what is interesting, and this was done in 2024. And when I saw this, I was working with Mahindra, and it kind of pretty much shocked me because what they've done here is that they've put out of focus skills over here. And then they focused over here in terms of core skills that are there. Now, if you look at these skills over here, largely these are skills that are marketing, sales, HR related skills, a lot of programming skills that are there, a lot of reading, math skills that are there. Now, what they are saying is that the skills that are here, which they've mapped over here, are going to be completely out of focus. Now, I've spent almost 2 decades, in marketing. And here is this report that says that, look, in the next 2, 3 years, your skills are going to be completely out of focus. So that kind of gave me a startle and a shock saying that if my skill is going to be out of focus in the next 2, 3 years, according to this report, then what is it that I need to be doing to keep my skills intact? Where are these skills headed? So if you look at where these skills are headed, they're all here. So if you see these skills, AI and big data, technology literacy, all these skills that are out of focus are all headed over here, which means that a lot of us who are over here, including me, have to move up to this level to learn AI and AI literacy. It doesn't matter what is your role. You can be in HR and have AI literacy in terms of what you do. You can be in finance and have AI literacy of what you do. You can be in marketing and sales like I have been and then have AI literacy. So AI is a layer, but how do you actually look at that layer and use that layer effectively to enhance your skills? That's where your productivity will change, and that is where you will evolve as a complete AI professional. So a lot of skills have moved here. So we need to move here, and these are the core skills that they say in 2000 in 2030 will be very, very core. But I don't think it's 2030. But the way things are going, I think in the next 2, 3 years, these are the skills that will be very, very. This will be very required across. And these are more hard skills. But if you see and study these skills over here, analytical thinking, creative thinking, curiosity learning, system thinking, these are all your soft skills, which means that the human in the loop, that concept that you keep hearing will always be there. So you will always be, the human that does a lot of analytical thinking, that does a lot of creative thinking, and that can actually direct the AI to do what you want to do. I've got some other uh, data that I've pulled up. This one says that, and this is not only for marketing, this largely for marketing, but involves largely non-tech. It says that a lot of marketing jobs require AI literacy is up 113%, which means companies are demanding this kind of skill sets now at this point in time. But sadly, only 4% of marketers have had these AI skills. There are almost about 95% of marketers where the opportunity is, to level up. And this is a very recent data by Adobe and LinkedIn. So here is another example where, skills are very low, but the demand is very high. Another data over here, which I pulled up from these reports, is that AI literacy is the fastest growing skill in the US. This definitely will come across the globe very fast in terms of everybody will expect you to be AI literate. Now, if you see the common job titles, they are software, engineer, product. And if you see over here, even the CEO is expected to be AI literate. So you just can't say that, I'm the CEO, I will delegate everything to my team and they'll figure out AI literacy. That's not going to happen. Because if the CEO is not AI literate and doesn't know where AI is going, sadly he'll not be able to do anything or filter down any sort of AI requirements or AI strategies for the team. And it's not just the CEO. When you look at CEO over here, it's also the senior leaders within the leadership cadre of the CEO that are required to know where AI and where AI literacy is going, which means that all of us over here are required to know where AI is going and how do you actually move into that, the skills which are not out of focus. How do you move out of that into focus skills? There's another interesting report over here that says that by 2030, 70% of the skills used in most jobs will change, and AI will be the catalyst. Which means that whichever job you are in now, doesn't matter whether it's manufacturing, shop floor, sales, anything that you are doing at this point in time, in the next 3-4 years, 70% of the skills that you have or that you will be using will be redundant, which further states that it's very essential to understand where this entire ecosystem is going and start understanding where your skills, where you will be able to adapt these skills so that you can use them in your role very effectively. And here is the gap. This is one slide I made just to show you the gap. The demand is over here, which is 70%, but the supply is very low. It could be anywhere between 4 to 8%. A lot of engineering folks are also at around 11, 12%. Only about 12% of the engineering folks know exactly how to work with AI. And when I say AI, I largely talk about generative AI and automation and the agentic AI workflows that are there. So the gap.
You can just check, there is two black, thing which is hiding your screen. One on the top and one on the side. Yeah, this one. Yeah. I don't know what is that.
You can stop sharing and then share it again, actually.
Yeah.
I think it is. These are the list. These are the participants list, or maybe the
participant list. Yeah.
Chat window, maybe mostly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, yeah, still it is there. The other one is gone. The right hand side is on. The top is there actually.
Top is the good Zoom panel actually.
The Zoom panel, if you can just put it down, like don't stretch it. I think you can just, there should be, yeah.
You stop the sharing and share again.
It is with the movement of cursor that is getting selected.
Yes.
Let me just
Now share it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you able to see it now?
It is coming up, but yeah. But again, I think the left side is still coming up there. Yeah. This left one. Yeah. You can remove it if you don't want it. And this one, the below one, I don't know why it is still there.
You hide the panel actually, or to hide the panel.
Hide the panel. Yeah.
Okay.
Then it should come actually.
Yeah, this one is gone. Yeah. Now the other one, I think. If you hide the panel, it should be gone. It is down below, but yeah, some part is still getting, yeah.
I don't know.
No, it is increasing now. So I think earlier was better that way.
Is it still showing up?
Yeah, it's showing up. Actually, it's actually growing when you click. Just try and see if there is a hide button or something like that.
That's strange.
Sorry.
So
I think we can still go with the smaller one. I think the left one, if you remove it, should be okay actually. You can just try one more time. Oh, it is still there actually. There are two more. The one which is gone is still there. Yeah, this one is still there actually.
it's still there.
Yeah, it's still there actually.
What is the panel?
It's actually the panel actually. No, that is a panel actually.
Yeah.
Zoom panel is.
Panel, if you can just, I don't know if there is a way to hide that.
I'm trying to figure out how to hide this. Is this some new setting that they have?
There's the option to auto hide panel.
I wish Zubin had an agent to do that. No, Zubin?
I know, I'm not used to doing it. I'm not used to doing it myself.
Okay, no worries. तो एक बार एक
But I'm
काम
doing
करते
it
हैं. I
properly.
think if you can,
I think let's continue. It doesn't.
yeah, we can continue. I think we should. Yeah,
Now, are you
yeah.
able to see my screen?
No, now again try. I think the below one, let it be no problem. But we can. Yeah. Yeah, I think below one, let it be as it is. Don't touch that because it becomes bigger. Yeah. Yeah, now we are okay. Now you can continue. You
So yeah,
can, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
you
able
can
to see whether it's below or what because I can't
It's
see anything.
below actually, but if you touch that, it becomes much bigger actually. So maybe we can
Okay.
continue with this. Maybe you can read the slide which is underneath that, or if we will call out if there is something. Yeah, that's it. Keep it as it is. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you call out if you can't see anything.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah. So Sharath had an idea, log off and log in. Sharath, but I'm worried that if Zubin can't log in, we'll add up into another problem. So I think we can continue, Zubin. And don't use annotation and all that because I think that again creates, I think,
yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So we can stop that also because I think, yeah, anything that you create, then it kind of doesn't go out actually.
Correct. So let it be. I'm just using
Yeah,
my cursor. Please see my cursor
yeah, yeah,
point
yeah,
if there is
yeah,
anything.
yeah, yeah. We can,
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah, we're
sorry.
good.
Yeah, let's just get back to sorry.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we have two aspects over here. One is the skills where most jobs are expected to move, and these are reports done by very well-known third party, very well-known third party uh, corporations like LinkedIn and World Economic Forum, and you can check them. These are all available online. If you Google anything, you'll be able to see it. So here there are two aspects over here. One is we are saying that 70% of uh, organizations need people to have AI skills over the next 2, 3, 4 years. And right now we are still sitting at 40. Sorry, we are still sitting at 4. So there's a huge gap over here, uh, which you can actually learn and move. So you can move into this 4%, 5%, 6%, and then you'll also, as things move, you'll also be able to see where things are moving as far as AI is concerned. But you need to start. A lot of folks at the companies that I do workshops with, they everybody's talking about AI, but very few know how to actually work with it. A lot of AI used by people are just like one-line prompts, and that's not going to be good enough for you to move ahead. You need to understand a lot more things in terms of how those prompts can help you in your working life. Has my slide changed?
Yeah, yeah. Change.
Yeah. So here is where we are. The adoption is slow. So the demand is high because companies are asking for these skills, and the supply is very low. And all you need to do is, focus on where these skills are going, spend some time to understand where your role is, spend some time to understand, what are these AI tools that are there that can enhance your workflow. See, one thing is that you can attend a lot of, you can see a lot of videos on YouTube. You can attend a lot of these seminars to figure out what is AI, where it's going. But unless you get into the pool, you will not be able to, swim. So you have to swim with the tide. You have to
Hmm.
actually get down to working with AI, not just knowing about AI. And that's what I teach in my workshops, where everybody comes with the laptop. We do a lot of case studies, case building, and then we even people who've not worked on start working on it, and then they see the difference. So we need to move from these one-line prompts like write me an email, tell me what is the weather, do grammatical, try and see what are the grammatical mistakes in the email and give me a proper grammatical arrange, give me a proper email without any grammar mistakes. You need to move away from such kind of prompting and move into AI workflows. Now, what are these AI workflows? AI workflows are actually how do you automate reports? How do you do dashboards, for leadership? So let's assume you're in a head sales role. How do you automate all your reports, your sales data that comes in, the CRM data that comes in? If you're the head of digital, all the work that you've done for, on the Google campaign, on the Facebook campaign, all the money that you spent, there are tons of dashboards that are there. I used to have 3 people every morning culling out all those dashboards and giving me an overview of what's happening. So much of time being spent. All that can be automated at this point in time. And there are tools and there are ways to actually automate all that. And the people in your team can start thinking from a business and a strategic point of view, saying that where do you want to take the business from 1,000 crores to 2,000 crores? How will you move the business rather than spend time on these automated reports? So here is where it gets real. The AI workflows. You have to stitch a workflow in your department or in your role where you will see this entire automation flow through. And then there are AI agents, which at this point in time, not a lot of people know. They've only heard of AI agents. But once you get into learning these AI floats, you will understand what these AI agents are and how these autonomous systems can actually work to get your Excel sheets out, your dashboards out very, very fast. So whatever work took you 2 days, 1 day, half a day, 3 hours will be done in almost 1/10 of the time. So in 30 minutes, you can take out a dashboard for the leadership for your monthly sales chart. That dashboard that dashboard that you take out for your leadership, which is in Excel, can be done into a nice PPT flow and an entire PPT dashboard for your leadership, all in one flow. You don't have to do anything except sure that these workflows are intact. So a lot of work can be moved. A lot of grunt work that's happening today, which is repetitive, operational, can be automated. But you have to figure out what is the repetitive work, what is the operational work that your team is doing, and then use that time for your team to start thinking. See, at the end of the day, you want to also elevate your team from doing all these grunt work, from doing all these Excel sheets, because everybody. So you want your team to move up on the leadership ladder and start thinking more about your sales, start thinking more about maybe new categories, maybe new products that are there. So more of thinking work can come if a lot of this grunt work goes to AI, and you should actually give this work to AI. Let AI and these automated flows do 80% of your work. You start working and thinking with that 80% as to how will you build the brand, how will you move your revenue from 1,000 to 2,000 in the next quarter, because that is what leadership wants to see. They've actually hired you to ensure that you grow the business, not grow your Excel sheets. So it's the right time and a great opportunity for us to leave everything to AI. Let AI do all this work. A lot of people use AI like Google, which actually is not what it is for. So how many of you have used Google? I'm sure everybody has used Google. I'm actually not able to see anybody here on this. I don't know.
No, everybody is here actually. Nobody is logged off so far. So for a webinar, a free webinar, if everybody who came in are still around till 40 minutes, you're doing good job, Zubin.
Actually, I can't see anybody. I can only see the slides. So
No,
it feels like I'm speaking to the slides.
no, I am there to watch, and I have like closed the gate so nobody can exit now. Actually,
I like that.
yes, yes.
So, so a lot of people start using AI as Google, which actually is not the right way to use it, because Google is a search engine. AI is more a contextual engine. Contextual engine means it can generate responses, it can do a lot of tasks for you, it can give you a lot of reasoning capabilities, it can build dashboards for you, which obviously Google can't do. Google is only more for retrieving web results. You put in short keywords, it'll tell you which sites. It can direct you to a site, but it cannot do anything for you in terms of it cannot construct anything for you. It cannot construct a piece of content for you. It cannot construct code for you. It cannot construct any images for you. And that's the difference between a Google and an AI. AI is a very contextual engine, which means that you have to give it context. If you give it a one-line prompt, then it's like you're using it like Google. You have to give it lots of context. That's why prompt engineering, prompting becomes very, very key. Uh, in this session, we'll not be able to cover, this prompting because it requires maybe 2, 3, 4 hours to actually understand prompting. But contextual engineering is where you should start focusing your energies on and try and understand how do you actually give context to an engine to generate a response. And that's when it will start working for you like magic. And then you will understand the power, and then you will understand, and you start loving it. You start working on it every day. So it's like getting into the pool. So you remember the earlier days when you got into a pool and people who know how to swim, when you got into a pool, there was a lot of anxiety. There was a lot of, there was this lot of anxiety getting into the pool saying what will happen. Uh, but once you got into the pool, you saw people swimming around, you got a lot of confidence. Then you started taking the float, and then you started swimming. Then you went into the deep. AI works the same way. You start working with it, start testing it, start contextualizing it, see how it responds to you. Let AI understand, who you are, how do you, what kind of work do you do. When you start giving it inputs to it, it will start understanding you. That's where the magic really is. So start using AI if you've not used AI in terms of giving it more context. I want to take a pause over here and see if there are any questions before we move ahead. Are there any questions? I can't see any chat window, so Yogesh, you'll have to help me.
Yeah. No, I think I'm not seeing any
Or
chat.
just you can just open your audio and just ask me if there are any
Yeah,
questions.
yeah.
Anything on the skills that we discussed, anything on, the Google AI front.
Yeah. Ritika has sent a message that, yeah, all good so far. Actually, they are wanting to see some practical. Yeah. I think, yeah, somebody. Yeah, I think some. Yeah, people are asking it. Can we get some practical example for marketing?
Yeah. So we're going to do one. Uh, so we're going to do one. What I want
Yes,
you to
yes.
understand first is that before we move on to the practical one, uh, I want you to understand that there are a few things that you need to keep in mind when you work with AI. And one of the most critical thing is that AI will execute for you, but you have to be the director in the sense
Mm,
that these pillars AI cannot replace. AI cannot replace
mm,
your intelligence. AI cannot replace your creative thinking. AI cannot replace all the marketing intelligence that you have. You know your customer better. You know your, sales force better. You know your distributors better. AI doesn't know that. So use that intelligence, give it to AI, and then you direct AI in terms of how you want it to execute. So always remember that the human in the loop will always be there and will always be supreme. You guide the AI, don't get guided by AI because AI will give you 4, 5, 6 options. So if you work with AI, it kind of gives you 3, 4, 5, 6 options. But which is the better option? AI can give you 5 options. If you ask AI, it will give you 100 options. But what is a better option to take that you need to know? So if you're running let's say a heritage brand, that heritage brand has certain connotations, it has certain brand values, it has it has a certain legacy with the consumer. So based on that, you decide what is the kind of option that you need to take when AI brings you that option. So always remember that you will direct it, you are the director, and AI will only execute it. Now, there is a short exercise that's there. So if you take just 2 minutes and understand where your role is, so you might be anywhere over here in any kind of role. Okay, and there are no right or wrong answers. This is just to understand where you are and where AI sits in your everyday life. So if you look at your role over here and you monitor or you map what are the daily, monthly tasks that you do every day. If you note that over here, you figure out whether that task is repeatable and can it be automated, you will find that at least 70 to 80% of your tasks will be automated or can be automated. Whether it's reporting, whether it's figuring out, your CRM data, whether it's checking any platform, a lot of these tasks are repeatable and can be automated. Now, if all these tasks are going to be automated, then what will you do? There must be something that only you can do. I don't have a right answer or a wrong answer over here, but I'm going to send this to you, or we can send this to you, and you can fill this out and see where you are and where you will stand. If everything gets automated, everything gets repeatable, what will you do? So that's the human in the loop that's there. So you will strategize, you will think, you look at where you can take the revenues from, let's say, 1,000 crore company to a 2,000 to a 5,000 crore company. And that is just one example. In content, it could be different. In analytics, it could be different. But imagine if 70 and 80% of your work gets automated, you will have about 3-4 hours every day because everything is getting automated. And what will you do for those 3-4 hours? You have to be valuable to a company to employ you for 2-3 hours. So what is that value? That you will need to think what that value is. And largely that value will come from your intelligence, your ability, your soft skills, and your leadership skills. That's there. You might be at anywhere today, in your levels of understanding AI. A lot of people are on L1, which is the basic usership in terms of emails, prompts. Few of them know how to prompt, but may not have the exact framework that's there. Uh, Ideally, you want to move to this level where you will orchestrate a lot of tools, a lot of frameworks to get and to repeat uh, a lot of your productive work that you do. So all the tasks over here, that you will put that is repeatable, automated, that can be automated. You will have to work on an orchestrated manner in terms of understanding where you will save those hours. That is where AI gets very, very productive in your workflow. It's not about prompts, it's about understanding how you will build that workflow that will actually save you hours. And then you move on to understanding how that workflow can be moved to an agent where the agent will do everything. But you have to direct that agent. So without your direction, agent will not be able to do anything. So you have to understand, figure out, and learn how to actually direct an agent to do your job. That is where you will have free time. 2 hours, 3 hours. That's when you can actually start thinking on the brand. And the fifth part is more for engineering folks. I'll leave that aside. But if you master these, if you move from, L2 to L3 in the next, 15, 20 days, and then move to L4 in the next 30 days, I think you would have mastered a whole lot of AI work that's happening in your industry and in whatever you do. Generally, these long workshops that we do, we actually teach people with different tasks, hands-on tasks where they do these tasks for L1, L2, L3, and then L4. So they see a whole transformation in their approach and in their thinking and in their, work productivity. That takes like almost about the whole day. And it's a very set framework that we have. But this is just a guideline for you to know and where you need to move the way things are going. So these are some of the workshops that we've done. The recent one was at UTI Mutual Fund where we had 50 people and we took them through the entire flow in terms of how to prompt, how to build images, how to build copy, how to do repeatable work, how they can decrease their time by automating reports, how to get insights for leadership. It's a whole day workshop that we do with corporates. This is another one. Sorry, are you able to see this? This is another one that we recently did at Ramraj Cotton, where their entire workforce was there. We taught them, the prompting frameworks in terms of how to actually uh, uh, learn how to prompt, use those prompts in your everyday life from a productivity perspective. How do you actually build images for your content work? How do you actually build videos for your content work? How do you actually look at simplifying all your research reports into key insights that you can actually send leadership? So whole lot of this workshop, it's the entire framework is moduled based on the pain points and the tasks of marketing and sales folks. Any questions so far? I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can see everybody. This looks so much better. Yeah. So, any questions so far? Yogesh, not able to hear you.
I know there are some questions in the chat, Zubin. Chinmay
Yeah.
has sent some. Yeah, just take a look. Yeah.
How can I make my own LLM to help me sort out marketing, give data, what all skills? Yeah, that's correct. So this is what we teach in the workshops in terms of how do you actually structure, let's say, a Claude, which is an LLM, or a chat GPT. How do we actually structure it so that it starts understanding what you do? And once it starts understanding what you do, it's like transferring your brain to an LLM and duplicating your work to an LLM. And that's where the LLM starts thinking the way you are and starts giving you that output. So yes, you will need to teach AI, as to what you want it to do. You'll have to look at all those MCP connectors, give it access, and then work with that, work with AI. So yes, you will have to do all these things to ensure that the LLM starts working the way you want it to work. That's where it will start doing things for you. That's when it becomes an agent, right? When it starts working for you, it starts taking your tasks, it starts taking what you do and starts doing it. So it's like an intern. Unless you don't brief it, the intern will not be able to perform. It will keep coming back to you, asking you questions, saying, what is this? How do I do this? So you have to give it perfect context. And that's where the prompting frameworks that we teach works well in terms of giving it context. And that's what makes the LLM very responsive to what you want to do. Do you have training workshops for IT sectors, sales and marketing done on L3 and L4? Yes. So we do have workshops. So we are sector agnostic. We are largely focused on role and function. So like I showed you there, we did one for UTI, which was finance, which was mutual fund and finance sector. They have a lot of SEBI guidelines and regulations. So we did one for them. Then we did one for a D2C company, which was Ramraj. They are one of the largest retail outlets in the south. We just finished that. So we are sector agnostic. We look at use cases that a company has and the pain points that the marketing and sales team has, and then we work around those use cases to create our workshop and then address those pain points. So if you're in IT, there are certain pain points that you have, use cases that you have, which are repeatable, which are, very operational. We can work on those use cases and give you, an agenda and a framework for the workshop. Priyati, that was for your question. Any other question? Yeah, Sakshi, how we can automate Facebook campaigns? Yeah. So Claude has a connector where you can actually connect it directly, to your Facebook account. The other way is that you can take your campaign data and then give it the right kind of prompting in Claude to actually analyze the data. So this is exactly, what we do and what we teach in the workshop in terms of how you can automate your regular operational research and inciting work. So yes, there is a way to do it in terms of automating everything. So if you work for 4 hours every day on Facebook and Google campaign data, this can be done in 20 minutes by just prompting. Kunal says, would like to know what are the best AI tools you suggest to implement. So I'm suggesting everybody to start working with Claude, start understanding how Claude works, because it's one of the fastest growing ecosystems today. Everybody's moved on to that. It's very impressive. The way they are shipping out a whole lot of features, they are kind of doing a whole lot of things, and the way their roadmap is, I think that is, nobody can predict the future, but that is where you should be. So your dependency now should start. If you've not moved on to Claude, you should start understanding what Claude is. Reduce your dependency on Chat GPT. That is what I have done. So I use Chat GPT, but I have reduced a lot of my work on Chat GPT and I've moved it to Claude. It's far superior in terms of its output and in terms of what it can do. But however, it's not very easy to understand it. It's quite a complex model, so you will need learning about that model to understand how you can work with it. Does human thinking ability get blunted when we get addicted to AI? So, sir, my answer is that is yes and no. AI can give you a lot of options, like I said, but at the end of the day, obviously, you have to take, what kind of option do you want to go with? AI will give you five options, but you know best whether you want AI, whether you want AI and give it, give it to work on two options and take that direction, or you want to give another option that you have and take that direction. So the direction is with you. I mean, when you say thinking ability gets blunted, I would say yes, because AI has the capability to actually think and give you far more options. But at the end of the day, you be the director of, those options. Not be able to think of 50 options. AI might be able to think of 50 options. So take it like your intern who's just come, who's hungry, who's fresh, and who's able to think of 50 options. So take that input saying that you got new 50 options. But which one to go ahead with is your judgment, your ability, and your intelligence. So I would just twist this a bit and say that you start thinking the way you want it. Let AI give you options. There's no harm, right, in AI giving you options. I'm hoping I have answered that, sir. If you have any questions on that, uh, I can answer it. Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions. Can you share the links to Claude? So there are no links in relation to sales and marketing as such. Okay, so Claude is just like ChatGPT. You'll have to download it. So from Claude, so I can put in the URL over here. So download it, uh, from Google and install it, or Claude.com. Download it and install it, and then start running it from your desktop. Start understanding it. Then for sales and marketing, you'll have to work towards giving it those kind of functions where it will start thinking like a sales and marketing head or a sales and marketing professional or a sales and marketing team. It will not come inbuilt. You'll have to work, you'll have to give it context so that it starts thinking like you. I'm taking sales and marketing because it is sales and marketing. It can be operations, it can be manufacture, it can be anything. It needs to start thinking like you. So you have to give it a lot of context for it to start thinking like you. It will not come in that come in it's not something that you download and it's already there like sales and marketing. It's not that. You have to give it context so that it starts working like a sales and marketing professional or like you. Okay. Any questions before we actually now move on to what uh, you know Google Notebook LM can do? I'm going to take one or two questions and then I'm going to move on to showing you what Google Notebook LM can do. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm going to move on to Notebook LM. So Notebook LM uh, is a tool which is an AI tool by Google. It's Google has a very strong ecosystem and it's building a very strong ecosystem of tools. So NotebookLM is such one such tool that I use pretty regularly. It gives a very good it gives a very good updation on and does a very good understanding of research work. It'll give you a lot of sources where you can take out the research report in terms of the output. It can help you in marketing, it can help you in sales, it can help you in operations, it can help you in everything and anything that you do. So what it will do is that it'll research everything and give you an output in whatever format that you want. Of course, it's not it's not as explicit as Claude, but it's very good for professionals to start working on it and start using it. Has anybody used Notebook LM? If you can just say yes in the chat, then that'll help me. Okay. Okay, so quite a few have used. So let me share my screen and we'll do an activity uh, for Notebook LM. Is everybody able to see my screen?
Yes, Zubin, yes.
So if you go on to Notebook LM over here, so you will see Notebook LM over here. So just type in Notebook LM. This is the tool that's there. If you click on this tool and if you log into your with your Gmail, you'll come on to something like this. Okay, this is the home page of Notebook LM. Now, what this is that think of Notebook LM as your bag. Okay, as a corporate bag that you take or any school bag that you had. Remember when you used to, go to school? It's like your bag or your personal folder that's there. And you have different notebooks that are there in that folder. Each notebook is a topic by itself. So these are some of the featured topics that are there, okay, which are by default there. So parenting advice for the digital, how to build a life from, from the Atlantic. You'll have a lot of other topics. So these are topics that uh, Notebook LM already has by default. And then there are options where you can build your own notebook. So a notebook is like, your own research guide in terms of what you want to do and in terms of what you are going to do. So I have 2, 3 accounts, and some of these this account of mine has a whole lot of these notebooks that are there, which I kind of have and I kept playing around with. So this one talks about Musk's vision. Then there is our dawn of artificial intelligence. So these are some of. Is everybody able to see my screen?
Yes,
So these
Zubin.
are So these are a lot of these notebooks that I work with. Dawn of the agentic era. Everything that I do is on agentic. So that's why my entire notebook, different notebooks are all based on that. So then there are some stuff I did on NBFC, AI and BFS. Then I also have this book over here, which is which I put into Notebook LM. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create one notebook.
So
We're going to
Zubin,
take
this is like in Claude, we have got projects. So is it similar to projects? Can we say that?
Yeah, so it is similar to projects. That's correct. So each project over here is like a notebook. That's correct. But largely in Claude, when you have a
Sure.
project, you largely identify it maybe with a client and have the client work in it if you're doing something. You associate
Right, right.
different 20 tasks in a certain project. So take this project like a notebook, which is like a project, but the functioning of this is very different than what you have in
Sure,
Claude,
sure.
what Claude can
Sure.
do.
We can take a look at it. Yeah.
Sorry, somebody had a question. So here is where you can create a new notebook. Now this interface is a little different. Okay, if you see, it's not the very usual interface. what happens over here is that, it's divided into three parts. Do you see this part, the sources? So the sources is one part. The middle part is where you chat with the notebook LM agent. So that's the AI agent that you chat with. And here, where you see the studio, that's the output that happens. So there is input, which is the sources. There is output, there is processing with the agent that happens. And then there is the output in the form of the studio. And if you see this, it gives you output in 9 forms. You can have a slide deck, you can have a video overview, you can have reports, you can have quizzes, you can have an infographic. There are lots of work that lots of aspects where you can do an output of your work. Is everybody with me so far?
Yes, Zubin.
Okay, so what we're going to do is that I've created or I've picked up some of these URLs of Bajaj Finance. Are you able to
Zubin, I think you have to share the entire desktop because right now it is gone after you. Yeah, now it is come back. Yeah. So if you go to any other tab, we won't be able to see. You'll have to share the entire desktop. Maybe right now you're just sharing the browser.
Are you able to see now?
Yeah. Yes, we can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is that you can see my screen, right? So what I'm
Yeah.
going to do is I'm going to add some sources. Okay. Now, these sources, what we're going to do is that we're going to create a notebook for Bajaj Finance's Q3 results.
Okay.
Okay. Now, assume that you're the head of maybe marketing or AI or sales, and let's say your CEO comes, you're working in a BFSI sector, your CEO comes and says that, look, Bajaj had this quarterly results 2 days back. I want to understand what happened. What is it that happened? What are the good points? What are the bad points? And where is AI in their entire approach? So assume that he wants to work on AI and wants to understand Bajaj's entire approach on what they are doing, with AI. And he wants to understand what's happening what were the results of the Q3 Bajaj update. So I've got some sources over here. Okay, so first thing that you do, and the beauty about this notebook is that it works a lot on your sources. So like you feed a lot of sources that you have. It can also take a lot of sources from the web, but if you feed a lot of sources that you have, it starts working on your sources. So I'm going to feed in a lot of sources over here, which are related to Bajaj. Okay. So if I see my screen,
Yeah, we can see now.
so I'm going to pick up a lot of these sources, okay, from here. So there is one, this I picked up from the Bajaj investor deck. Were you able to see? I picked it up from my desktop.
Yes, yes.
So this is the Bajaj investor deck. So whatever sources I add over here gets filled on the left hand side. So this is from the Bajaj investor deck. Then I picked up, more sources from uh, here. This document has a lot of URLs that are there for Bajaj. So you see it already started giving you some kind of data structure over here. Are you able to see?
Yes.
In the middle, it already started, giving you a whole lot of data structure over here. And already by default started, gave a title over here, Bajaj Q3. So it figured out from a whole lot of this information that we put in as to what this is all about in terms of the data that's there. So I put in two. You can put in, type in. You're able to see my screen, right?
Yes, Zubin, we can see.
So if I put in Bajaj Investor, you can, put in this, copy this URL also and put in over here. So you can paste the URLs also over here. Okay, in terms of pasting it, it gives you an option. So you can go to Google and see whatever you want. So you want to know, you cannot read all the 20,000 URLs. This we've already put. But if you put in Bajaj Investor presentation, you can put all that URL. You can also put a lot of, YouTube videos that are there on financial earnings. So let's look at this. Put this, copy paste over here. So we've got, so what I wanted to show you is that this tool takes URLs, which are video based, which are document based, and you can put any URL that's there. We'll take another YouTube URL. More you put, the more context it gets. Okay. So just for the sake of this, I'm going to just put 3 URLs for now. So I'm going to insert this. So you see on the right hand side, it started coming, this pasted text. Are you able to see? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes,
Hello?
Zubin, we can see. We can see.
Yeah. Okay. Because I can't see anybody, so that's why I'm
No,
asking.
we can see. In
So
fact, we'll call
whatever,
out. It you can see. Yeah.
yeah. So you can put up to, 50, 60, 70 of these sources. So you can have a very solid source, but right now, not going through a lot of these sources. Just for our demo sake, I put in 3 sources, which would be able to give you enough. So you put all the sources that you have on the left hand side. It already has started creating something. It started understanding that there is a comprehensive Bajaj investor deck. Now it's asking you questions saying what are the core pillars of Bajaj group structure, etc., etc. But what we want to understand is we want to understand as to what is the AI component that's there in the and we want to make a presentation of what are the AI components that are there apart from the quarterly results. So we can start chatting over here, saying that. So give it a role first, and that's the prompting. I'm not going to go through elaborate prompting over here, but just enough for it to get context. So I'm going to say that help me understand the AI initiatives of Bajaj. What are they doing? How many how many how many AI initiatives do they have? Bifurcate them and give me an update from their Q3 report. The best part is that it takes all the spellings also, spelling mistakes. So you don't have to worry. So I'm just going to give it this prompt and I'm going to say, okay, Now it starts checking, and you can be elaborative, okay? Just because you want to show it, I'm not being very elaborative, just to show you a demo of how you can use it. You can put any of your documents, your presentations, your competitor presentations, and it will help you understand what it is. So we put in these documents and we have context. Now it's assessing all these documents that we put in. So it'll take a few minutes to assess all these documents. It's outlining these AI pillars, verifying all these documents, figure out where AI is actually. And you can, and once it gives that, you can start responding. So this is the agent that's working behind. So you see over here what it came up with. It came up with 10 operational stages of Fin AI. So Fin AI is, they are FinAI is a task force that integrates artificial intelligence across all of their business processes to drive leverage at Bajaj. So it gave 10 operational stages of FinAI. Stage 1 data for AI, stage 2 product and discovery, customer engagement. So they have about 10 stages where AI is implemented. Then they have 7 AI pods. So you see the sharpness of this tool, that in all this information that we put in, and we didn't even see the videos. I didn't go through the videos. I just put the Bajaj investor PDF over here that's there, and that is the SEBI requirement guideline. It's also there on their website. So I just pulled up that and I put in, and from that it actually gave an entire strategic output of AI in terms of what they are doing. Now you can keep chatting with it and say that, I want to only understand what they're doing in voice. I want to only understand what they're doing, with their data. I want to only understand their custom model in AI. You can keep doing that. I'm not going to do it now for paucity of time. But once you get this information, once you start chatting and get this information, on the studio side, it becomes more impressive. Now, out of all this information, it can actually create an infographic for you. It can create a mind map for you. It can create a slide deck for you. It can actually create an video overview for you. It can create a data table for you. So it has 9 sources that it can create. Let's start creating and seeing how it comes up with. So I'm saying infographic, I'm saying mind map, I'm saying slide deck, I'm saying, audio overview. I'm also saying video overview. It's asking you some questions, but I'm just saying generate. Video overview, I'm saying reports. So it's asking you create your own report in which style, study guide. I'm going to say study guide, and I'm just going to go right now. So there are all these, and it'll keep asking you as to how you want. And it has started generating over here. Are you able to see this on the right hand side?
So at one time you can generate multiple outputs
Yeah.
parallelly. Okay.
All that. So I generated all 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 I've generated, but you can do all. I haven't done quiz, but you can do all. And this is already ready. This mind map is ready. This Bajaj, I don't know what is this. What was this? Report. So this Bajaj report is ready.
I can see, yeah. And then just click on this to see the output.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm just waiting for it to, for this infographics to happen. Is everybody able to see this?
Yes, yes.
So this is the mind map. Let's see what it is. So it created a mind map. Okay, as to what are their consolidated financial performance. So here is where we are. What is the Finai transformational update? So it says it's got voice, text, it's got agentic AI, it's driven document, it's got processing. You can get into different business segments in terms of, and this all they created out of, that report, the Q3 report. So it can create an entire mind map for you. here it created an entire infographic for you. Are you able to see this?
Yes, yes, Zubin.
Yeah, look at the quality of this infographic. You can actually put it up.
Amazing.
You can actually put it up in presentations, and I've done it. I put up a lot of infographics in the presentations that I do. Look at the amount of work you saved. Imagine doing such an infographic. You'll have to hire 3 designers, 2 designers. They will work for 2 days and give you something like this. And this is only from 3 sources. Now let's look at, so it says slide deck failed. So I'm going to try it again.
In the meantime, Zubin, Chinmay is asking what is the recommended amount of money we should spend on the notebook, and which plan is recommended to take starting out? Once you it's free, right?
This is free. Yeah, so if you have a Google paid so if you have a Google Gemini, this comes with Gemini. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it comes with Google Gemini. So I think it comes free for 50 notebooks. Now they have extended it to some 300 notebooks.
So Zubin, just quick time check. We are at 5:25. We just have like 5 more minutes left. So I think we can. It's a
Yeah, I'm done.
fantastic, sense
I just wanted
people
to
have. Yeah.
I just wanted to show the slide deck in terms of how amazing the slide deck is.
Yes.
By
But in
the
the
time
meantime, I would request people to ask any other question. They can, unmute themselves and
Yeah.
ask any question they may have.
So slide deck is getting generated. So we'll just stop on the slide deck. Then you guys can later on check it. It has other elements also like audio or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
if you
I
have
would
any
like to
questions.
know what are some of the marketing skills that you would recommend. I teach to the agentic AI, so I'm using Claude Cowork right now.
Yeah.
But for marketing, which plugins or which skills should I add to the Cowork setting to really optimize its answers for
But
marketing?
you'll have to figure out, marketing is a broad term. You'll have to figure out which basically as to what you want to do. So if you want to look at how quickly it can generate analytics, then you give it a skill which is analytics. So what happens in that sense is that when you give it an analytics skill, what happens is that, and you put in a report, it will create, an insight and generate that report that you wanted based on the skill. If you want to
Okay.
create content, then you give it a skill which is, let's say, blog content or website content. Then it will start creating website content based on the skill you've given and the topic or the theme that you've given. So once you give the skill as to what you want it to do, then you give it the topic. So it will create that skill in that topic. So when you say marketing, you'll have to decide which are the top 7, 8, 10 skills that you give, or which are the plugins that you will use, 7, 8, 10 plugins that you will use. By default, if you go into the skills over there, by default, it has some 7, 8 marketing skills. Some of them that I remember are analytics, brand voice. There is another one for SEO also. So a lot of these skills are there. And there are websites where you can download these skills and upload them. So those skills are already made by somebody. All you have to do is download it and upload it. And you can change those skills also and work on those skills also. So for example, I can make a skill which is, SEO based skill, which will be my skill, but I can put it up on a marketplace and you can download that skill. So it will start working on your, SEO strategy and give you a strategy based on your website.
Okay, thank you. To give you some background and to ask a follow-up question, I am actually an intern at a real estate wealth management company, and one of our major, uh, one of our major sources, hero services is um, brokerage. So for that,
Okay.
when a client comes to us, for property, and we do a 360-degree marketing strategy where we post on social media, we post flyers in newspapers, and we give a 360-degree marketing to them.
Hmm. Hmm.
So how can I now take this further and get a personalized, plan for each property? Something that's, worth 20, 40 crores is, worth it only to some people. The purchasing power is only available to some people to buy that property.
Hmm.
That is a flat that is worth like 80, 90 lakhs. That will
Hmm.
be for a wider
So,
range of
yeah,
people.
so you'll have to probably create cohorts, okay, of these people and try and understand, what is driving him to buy that property, what are his behaviors, what are his triggers to create. So you'll have to create 4 or 5 cohorts like that, and then feed those cohorts into, let's say, a cloud in a particular project. So your one cohort with, XYZ things will become one project. So whenever you want to invoke anything with this cohort, you start working on that project for that cohort. Your second cohort that has, different target audience, a different intent, different behaviors, different demographics will become like your second cohort. So you have to have these 4 or 5 cohorts and start working with those 4 or 5 cohorts to give them personalized communication. So if you're working with a first cohort, you'll have a set of communication that will be personalized only to that first cohort.
Okay, and to
So
develop
Chinmay,
this,
I think you can connect with Zubin
Yeah,
because we're just running out of time. We wanted to just thank everybody for for the way. So Chinmay, you can connect with you can Zubin is on LinkedIn. You can chat with us, and yeah.
yeah, I put my number. So anybody
Yes,
wants to get in touch with
yeah,
me.
you can call Zubin also, no problem. Yeah. So, so thank you so much, everybody. I know we are at 5:30. I think we will still be there for another 5-10 minutes. Zubin is available in case you want to chat
Yeah.
with him, ask any questions. So 10 minutes more, but I'll stop the recording now, and you can continue if you want to stay and talk to Zubin. Yeah.